Hi, my name is Maria5. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back to my channel if you're not so new. I'm here to talk about a book and I've got to make and, well, the tea that I've had before. This isn't new. This is the tea from Thailand, which I've featured a few times now. It's good stuff. In my purple kitty cup. So, cheers to that. Yeah, I still have some left, but I haven't been able to find any else since then. So, I guess we'll have to be on the search for something else, which I'm sure will happen because it always does, right? That's just the nature of tea, I think. Anyway, yeah, I recently went for an eye exam, and so these little babies may end up getting replaced, or maybe I can just get a new lens. We're not sure yet, but looking into that. So, full scale warning for you. And then we have, well, my make actually is about 4 years old, maybe. It's been a while, but it's this beautiful silk skirt from Thailand. Thailand skirt, yeah. There's the label on it. So my girlfriend, she went to Thailand and hung around there for, I don't know, a while, a couple of months maybe. Came back, brought me this beautiful shawl. And I mean, I love it. And it is really silk and it is so soft. Oh my goodness. But I didn't wear it. I just never ever reached for that shawl. And yeah, it just seemed kind of a shame. And I thought, well, what if I turn it into a bit of a wrap skirt? So voila, it's a bit of a wrap skirt. So I've got stretchy shorts in underneath as the lining, as you can see here, and the silk just on the top. And then I've just used a zigzag stitch and just stitched it around. Made sure there was a good enough overlap so the gap would not reveal anything as you walked, as a good wrap skirt will do. And yeah, I wear it all the time now. It is so soft. Soft as silk. Yeah, anyway, that is the make. And yeah, any silk shawl that you find, it's a really easy thing to do. The shorts are just from Amazon. There's nothing special about them, but yeah, so that's, you know, a pretty easy thing to do, even in an afternoon. You've just got to make sure you get that crossover properly. So fit it around yourself first, and don't mark it because it's silk. And you really want to look after silk. Special, you don't want to wash it very often. If you do, on the delicate cycle. Yeah, so don't mark it with fabric markers or anything like that. But you know, you can get silk pins and they're very skinny and really sharp. You get silk needles, which again are very skinny, very sharp. And yeah, otherwise you're going to pull because silk, the way it's woven, I don't even know if you care. But silk, the way it's woven, it's got long threads this way. And you know, just the average size. The weave and the weft, and I'm not sure which is which, but the cross are standard, but these ones are not every one or every other one. They're very long before they go back in again to weave. So, which is what gives it its shine. And it's what allows all the two tones of silk. I have another one too, and I'm not sure, I might show that to you next time. I'm not sure if I've used it already, but again, I've made these a little while ago. I'm in the middle of making a cushion, but it's not ready yet, so maybe next time. Anyway, oh, and my little baby girl. She come to say hi too. Obviously in from her adventures. Didn't catch anything. Anyway, all right, so I'm here talking about Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. V.E. Schwab. And I don't know why this book took me so long to read. I mean, yeah, I've been busy, but I just have not read as much as I should, I guess. I don't know, but it just took me a long time to read it, and it's so good. So I don't know. So if any of you have heard of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue was published in 2020, and I came across the desk in the library for processing, and it was pretty new, and I was intrigued by the title, and so I read it, and wow, I absolutely loved that story. So it's too old to vlog here, and that's okay. But if you enjoy this, if you pick this up, definitely go back and read that one. It was, yeah. This is much in the same vein, but not exactly the same. It is 2025, as I said. And it's about life and love and immortality, very much the same way The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue was. I've recommended that book to so many people, and everyone has come back and went, thank you. So I'm recommending this to you, hopefully. There's an element of fantasy. I'm just going to put that right out there. And if you don't buy into that, this is not going to be the book for you. It does deal with vampires, but they don't call themselves vampires. And yeah, it's, as I'm sure I've mentioned before, there are differences. Of course, we're dealing with vampires, and I think I've mentioned this before. I've read literally everything by Anne Rice, under Anne Rice. She wrote under Anne Reliquaire, something like that, and I never read any of those, but I did read everything by Anne Rice, dealing with witches, dealing with vampires, dealing with anything like that. And so, and of course, all the other lore, right? So like, I feel like I have a pretty good grip on vampires. And yeah, V.E. Schwab, in some ways, I think, does it justice. I'm not sure if she's read Anne Rice or not, but yeah, there's definitely the common lore. And yeah, I won't get into it too much, but okay, so we start with our main character. Her name is Maria. I didn't know this when I picked it up, I promise you, but her name is Maria. And she starts in 1532 in San Domingo de la Calzada, and she watches a widow move with ease through the town, through village, through the folk, and she thinks, oh, a widow, knowing how women were, and what their place was in society, and how much more freedom a widow is allowed or given. And so I thought it was actually pretty poignant that this 15-year-old would notice all this and go, anyway. So yes, she gets married, and of course seeks out, her name is Sabine, the widow, seeks out Sabine's help, and yeah, the story goes from there. So yeah, Maria, who chooses the name Sabine afterwards, and yeah, that's our pretty cool part of the story. And then we move into Charlotte, sometimes Char, sometimes Lottie. Yeah, she goes by a few different names, and her whole story and the interconnection between those two. And then we move into modern day Boston, 2019, and her name is Alice. And yeah, like just wow. Yeah, all three of them cursing their luck for being a woman, fear of men, just trying to figure out, just the place in society. And I think part of it, to tell you the truth, is still 2025, and women still are not everywhere, but in a lot of parts and a lot of scenarios of what goes on up here, still the second sex. Simone de Beauvoir. I don't remember the year, but yeah, that's a pretty old text, but we're still there. Yes, we have moved, and I'm not saying we haven't. I'm not saying we haven't progressed, but there are definite elements that are still all the way through 500 years that really haven't really changed. It's full of raw emotion, and yeah, something that I think most women will relate to. So I'm just going to read you a little bit, because the writing Chef's kiss. Amazing. Okay. San Domingo is a blessed town. It sits on the Camino de Santiago, the Pilgrim's Road. Maria has always been fascinated by the people who come down it. Her father told her that they made the trip to cleanse themselves of sins, and when she was small, she thought of those sins as boulders. Heavy burdens like theft and murder and abuse, each enough to weigh a body down, bend a spirit low. Maria would marvel at the constant train of criminals, advertising their guilt even as they attempted to atone. Only later did her mother say that not all those sins were boulders, that most, in fact, were more like pebbles. An unkind thought, a hungry heart, small weights like greed and envy and want, things that didn't seem to her like sins at all, but apparently they added up. More disappointing still was when Maria discovered that some who walk the Pilgrim's Road are not guilty of a sin at all, that they make the trip not to atone for their past, but to secure their future, to ask for miracles or intercessions, or simply pave the way to God's grace. Very powerful writing. No, this is not a religious book. It is not. But oddly enough, I was reading it at work, and 3 people commented, "Oh, you're reading the Bible." And I was like, why would you think that? But it was an interesting aside. Anyway, all right, I've got a couple more here for you. But Sabine has found that she far prefers the taste of other women. Just as their skin is softer, she finds their life tastes sweeter too, more earth than metal, like burned caramel perhaps. Hard to say. And finally, for human senses, the scene must be a feast. For hers, it is cacophony. So many bodies pressed together, the air clouded with their urges and intents, and their faces hidden behind masks. Some sprout feathers and others horns. Tricorn hats perched over plaster or porcelain brows, a handful of rictus grims and garish scowls flash among the horde. But most are strangely expressionless, their painted lips pressed together, as if holding back a secret or a smile. Her writing is truly, truly amazing, and yeah, it grabs you and you are sucked in. So I don't know why it took me so long to actually read the book, but it was so well worth it, and I hope you enjoy it. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give any more away. But thank you so much for listening. Please like, please subscribe, and I will see you again in 2 weeks' time on a Friday. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.